Hi everyone, I'm here with another Husky 701 install. This time it's going to be the fairing kit from Rade Garage. I already got the additional tank and air filter with the new air box, so let's take a look at what we got here. So inside of the box, new windscreen, new side plastics, new set of LED lights, this looks like the upper and lower clamp, and turn signals, the new carbon fiber dashboard, the additional yellow frame for around the lights, hardware seems like rubber grommets, some screws, some bracket, and the main piece actually is the main part of the tower. So let's verify to the packing list. Main bracket LED lights I got, sticker and holders got, plexi took out the headlight, that's there, upper and lower clamps, yes, carbon parts holder, grommets for controls, windscreen holders, headlight cover, fairing. I got everything, so let's get going. Okay, so the first tip is to set up everything finger tight first, to make sure that there's a proper fitment and alignment of all of the holes and the screws, and then tighten everything. And on the bolts that don't have the nylon lock nut, let's use blue Loctite. I got it as well. So we'll start with removing the OEM headlight right here and unplugging all of the cables from the plastic side in the back. Let's get going. And the manual also says to remove the plastic covers. I think that they are coming off completely anyway, so I'm going to do it at the same time. So seat. Alright, the first one is off. Just note that the screws that are coming from the front are slightly longer than the ones coming from the sides. You can see that the longer one goes to front, shorter one goes to the sides. one screw on each side, but also we had to remove the brake lines from the holders, and I should be able to pull the mask forward, but oh, there are additional screws, so not just 2 screws, but 4. Top and bottom. It's like only on one side, so I got 3 so far. Let's see, yep. 3 of the different screws. Disconnect the connector. And in the next step, we have to remove the front black plastic. So in order to do that, we have to cut all of the zip ties that are up front. There's quite a number of them. So hopefully these guys are smart and the connectors will be easy to identify. Next, I'm going to loosen the 2 front screws holding the plastic. These are the silver ones on the top. And I also see that there is a holder for few connectors that I think will be in the way, so I'm going to get that out too. Just like that. Let all of the other cables out. Okay. Good. Okay, so it's now somewhat like loose, but I see that there are a number of connectors that are holding it in. Some of the fly-by wires here on the left side, so I will need to remove the left side plate plastic and disconnect the connectors here. Looks like that they are not any of the same, so hopefully I'll be able to easily find out what goes back where. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's take a look at the fly-by-wire connectors that are holding the plastic in there. Yes, so just tuck it right at the end of the black plastic. 3 connectors.
I'm moving the whole plastic out, so I need to figure out where. Oh, I have another zip tie here. Okay, so I can see that from the rider's view on the left side there is nothing holding the plastic. I can actually remove all of the cables here. However, here on the right side I have the bolt ends that are going to the hydraulics. So and to get it out, I have to cut the plastic, so I'm going to do it like that. I should be able to push all the hydraulics to the side. Okay, so green is left or right turn signal. And red is left from the rider's view. Disconnect it. And I still have here the controls, and those are very similar connectors, so I probably want to color code what is connected everywhere, so I am able to get it back together. One of them has 3 wires, but the 2 of them have the same color, though, so I just need to mark one of them. Okay, glue goes to glue, and I'm ready to disconnect. Alright, so now after the last zip tie, the plastic is off. There are still some connectors hanging here. The last one is not going to come out. So the next step is going to be removing all of the ABS button, the speedo and display, and the indicators. So I'm going to try to slowly push this out. Yep. So just pushing it out, I'm able to remove the ABS button, and now the connectors are going to come out. Perfect. And I have the the front piece. So there seems to be two screws holding the speedo, and the indicators are probably just a pop out, but I'll have to take a look. Alright, so I got the plastic here. In order to remove the indicators, you pull down and you come out with the actual LED, and then you should be pushing up. Oops. So it worked. As you can see, it was flying. So okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the LED assembly and put it back just slightly, so I know that this is the neutral, and I'm going to do it for all three of them. Yeah. Oil. And a turn indicator. Now okay, I got them out. I'll take out the speedo and just remove it from the rubber grommets. And we need the grommets too. The Rade install manual says that we will be reusing those, so just push it back in. Take it out. Same with the other one. And I have the assembly with the turn indicators that are not going to be needed, so I'll store this away. Alright, so in the next step I have the main assembly, and I need to install the integrators and the taco. So this is already assembled, but I'm thinking that the best way for me is going to be remove the upper part and then install it from the bottom, so I have a full access. I don't think that there is enough space here, so I'll remove this and I'll just work with the upper part. Okay, so now I have the main assembly here, and I have the top portion. So I'm going to take it completely apart, and I will install all of the instruments. Okay, so the manual says to start with the ABS button, but it has to be pull apart. So there are the safety pins on each side. So okay, I'm slowly, very carefully going to pull it apart. Alright, so I actually didn't have to take the ABS button apart. I was able to rotate it, put it in, and it says that I need to secure it with the supplied triangle from the back of hardware that I got as part of the kit. Okay, so here's the rubber triangle. Just if we go over and
over, so it sits flat, and I'm able to push it, doesn't move, so that looks good. Next I'm going to insert the rubber inserts for the taco, and almost seems like the holes here are slightly smaller. Yeah. So I'll see if I can push it through, or whether I will have to make them bigger, but it looks like that I should be able to just pull the rubber through. Yep, you can see these guys did a better job than Husqvarna. These are much more tighter than what I have in the original plastic. So the other one, rubber pieces, and tighten it back with the screws, but as the manual says, be careful, these guys are going to plastic, so don't over tight. Nice and snug. Perfect. And see, okay, my taco is here. We are going to use the supplies of the rubber pieces for the other three indicators. You can see already got two in there, the last one coming in. Yeah, perfect. So now I can insert the back the indicators. So my neutral, slowly pull a piece coming from the top, insert the LED module from the bottom while pushing from the top, so it doesn't come back out. Yep. Alright, so I got a new dashboard. So I think I'm going to put it back to the whole assembly, but since the pieces are not tight and I cannot get to the inside, I actually think that I'm just going to do a few screws, see how it fits, and then get it out and tighten everything as we discussed with the wrench. Okay, so here's the pre-assembled cockpit or dashboard. As I said, it's not fully tightened, so it's just finger tight. I'm going to see how it comes together, and then I'm going to pull it apart and tighten up everything. There are these lock nuts, so we'll need to get the wrench in. Okay, in the next step we have to remove the 4 plastic plugs that are on each side of 2 on each side of the fork, one up here, one under the cables. I had a somewhat hard time getting them out, so I couldn't just pop them out. They were very tough to get out. At the end I end up drilling a small hole to the middle, and then using drywall screw to pull them out. I couldn't find any other way. I have tried knife, I have tried pliers, I have tried actually everything possible. This was the only way for me to get them out. So small hole, then I could drive a screw in and pull them out. Now when we have them out, we will go and install the brackets from each side of the fork, or the middle part of the steering, like that, on each side, and one on the bottom. So there are 4 in total. Using the M6 supply screws that will be driven into the thread. Make sure that you don't leave any cables underneath. The same from the other side. Okay, so now when we have the brackets, we are ready to insert the tower into the brackets. Okay, so now I'm inserting the long supplied screws. And of course on the other side we are going to put the nylon lock nuts supplied in the hardware kit. I'm not tightening this in full, so I'm going to just put them there so I know where everything goes, and then before finalizing I'm going to tighten everything using wrenches, so it's all full, but as you can see, I have not tightened the top either, even though it holds quite well. In the next step we have to route the main electrical cable, which is essentially all of this, back to the middle, as well as connect the flyby wire connectors back on the left side. The manual says to route it through the middle, but I already assembled the plate, so it has to go in here, essentially, next to the middle part of the fork, inside and in the middle. I'm going to take a look if it's going to be easier for me to take out the side plates or one of the front plates, so I can get to it and I can work on it. So it's going to be quite a while, because I have to find the optimal routing place. Okay, so now when I know that it fits, I'm going to follow the manual and remove the 3 screws from the assembly, the 3 long ones, the bottom 2 and the top front, and that's so I can lift the tower and route the electrical cable inside. So now I only have the top screw, so I can lift it like this, and I can route the main electrical cable. So now I have routed the cable in. Okay, so what I have done next is I have essentially let loose the tower here on the left side, rather side, so I can get inside to all of the connectors, specifically to connect the dashboard, the tacho, etc. And because I have to connect everything else, I have mounted the LED lights, only holding them with the upper screws. The bottom is still not tied in. I'm going to put the screws in next. But the goal is to connect the connectors while everything is open, so you can test functionality of the bike. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to just put the 4 screws here on the bottom of the LED lights, but I'm not going to tighten them, because then I will need to do some adjustments in terms of the position. All of the connectors that are left, starting with the lights and then going to the tacho, etc. Okay, so I got everything in, so I should get it. Low beam, high beam, dashboard, oil. Perfect. Everything works. So I can tighten up everything back up and get ready for the assembly of the fairing. Alright, so I was doing it slightly incorrectly, even though it could actually work. It would be actually very hard to tighten up at the top. And Rade actually is a genius because the whole front with the LED assembly comes out like that. So I don't have to worry about it. I can tighten up everything, as it's supposed to be. And I'm just going to connect the lights, and I will be able to put them in from the outside because they have the inserts with the threads. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to verify that my cable routing is fine, and I think that this will do it for now. I will leave the light connector on the outside. I will still need to connect my turn signal later, and I'm going to tighten everything the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to insert the remaining 3 screws onto the tower, and then I'll see what will be the next step. But everything worked, so I'm quite happy. So now I'm just going to. Okay, so now when I have finished the checking the cables and everything else, the last step is to connect the LED lights and enclose the whole setup. Okay, all done. Last test. Perfect. The next step, I'm going to prepare the fairing. So here is the windscreen. Rade supplies this yellow sticker that, if you want, you can optionally place it like that. I'm not sure that I like the yellow, given that the bike will now be mostly white, so I'll keep that off for now. You can always add it back later. And I'm going to mount the covers. The covers are mounted using these small screws and the rubber nuts. I have to figure out which way it goes. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. I see. So the longer ones go elsewhere. Again, what I'm finding out is that Rade really spent good time thinking and designing, and it's very hard to misplace or do something wrong unless you make a mistake on your own. But again, I see 2 different sizes, only one fits, so that's going to be quite simple. So you have to remove the foil. Alright, so that's one. And it seems like there is foil from the other side as well, but it's clear, or there are some printings on. So quite simple to find what fits where, and I'm finding out that that's the case with the whole setup, pretty much with every single item. Right now when we have the rubber inserts, okay, that separate the windscreen from the plexi protector. We are going to use the M4 screws to tighten it. Now remember, okay, that you are tightening into a plastic, so do not over tight. Many people do mistake. I have seen it on the BMW screens. I've seen it elsewhere, that they over tight and the screen cracks. This feels at least quite a bit more sturdy compared to the other screens that I had in my hand, but still you have to be careful. So nice and snug, but not over tight. Okay. So now I have the windscreen ready with the flexi. Next, we have to remove the rubber grommets from the original fairing. This is where you plug in the seat. And sometimes they are somewhat difficult. In other cases, they go more easily. Right, next we have to insert the grommets back to Rade's fairing. Okay, so I was able to put the rubber grommets in. They are fitting quite nicely, snug. So in the next step we will be connecting the plate, carbon fiber plate, to the fairings and to the windscreen. So I had a little bit of trouble figuring out how this gets completed together. As you could see, previously I have put the plexi protector, but I forgot to put the lower bracket on there before I put in the screws, and obviously that's not going to work. So you first have to insert the rubber nut or the rubber inserts that have the nuts, and then tie carefully so you don't over tie. Okay, that's going to create tight connection. So you can see that I have attached the left fairing with the two rubber pieces, and I'm going to do the same now for the right side. You'll feel as the rubber essentially pushing on the inside, and as I said, carefully so you don't over tighten, but you can see that it got quite stiff. It holds its shape, so we can do the next step. So in the next step, I have taken the carbon fiber piece. I have put the screws from the bottom. I put the rubber with the nuts inside them on the top, but I have not tightened that. You can see they are straight. I'm going to insert that into the bracket. And tighten so it fits and holds. Because one more step that I need to do is take the rubber piece and insert it onto the carbon fiber, and I want to do that before I fully tighten the screw, so I have some space to work with. Okay, so now I have the front windshield or plexi connected with the 4 screws, essentially the top and the middle. The bottoms are not actually in because they go onto the frame onto the bike, and I have the front plexi protector for the LED lights. What's left is to attach the bottom. Now, depending on the version and when you bought the kit, the holes may or may not be pre-drilled. I have seen reports that the pieces in the carbon fiber are not pre-drilled. Mine were, but the bottom section was not drilled. So I used a Dremel and I created the holes that align. So you can start going from the top. I'm going to take the rubber nuts and push them in. And then the screws into the rubber nuts to make them hold a little better. Okay, one side done. Okay. So now, okay, you can see, okay, how much more sturdy it became when we put the screws in. So last step is get it on the bike. Okay, in the last step we are going to install the whole assembly onto the bike. Note that for the top I have already inserted the rubber nuts. For the bottom, the nuts should be inserted through the white side, the same as you have done the top. So I have the bottom rubbers already in the pieces, and the tops are on the bike. So now I can fasten the top screws. And now I'm going to tighten everything up. Okay. And last step, install back the saddle or seat. Same as before. The only difference is that instead of going to the original siding, you are now going to the newly installed Rade. Okay, inside in, other side in, and perfect. Ready for test ride. All done. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can email Rade. Fairly straightforward.